Hey everyone, welcome to the Red Path. Okay, so this video, Dara and I are going to chat about today's massive Chaos Space Marine leaks. We're just going to go over everything we can. I am recording this after the event because we didn't really do the intro properly. So, just quickly, a couple bits of news. First off, we are actually now an affiliate of Element Games, so anyone in the UK especially, buy your stuff through Element Games and the channel will actually receive a cut of that at no expense to you. Links are below, so it would be great if you are thinking of purchasing any Chaos Space Marine or any 40k or Nerd Hobby stuff. Please use the links below because we get a little bit of that and that helps the channel grow. Also, of course, like, subscribe, all that bullshit, and we would absolutely love to see you in our Discord. A lot of the information we talk about in this video is based on subscribers, members, whatever, who have been just going through the hard work here and figuring out combos and strength values of the stuff in the Codex. So it's a great resource. We sort of come together and do a lot of work together in really powering up World Eaters and Chaos Space Marine. Okay, so that's it. I'll shut up now. Let's get into the video. So first of all, hello to everyone. It is 1:30 PM on Saturday the 25th. The Chaos Space Marine Codex has gone up for pre-release order and all the videos are out there going over stuff. We didn't have access to an early copy, which is fine. Yeah, but maybe that'll change for World Eaters. Yeah, if
right?
If we get
we can dream.
But yeah, I just want to, this is going to be our thoughts specifically towards World Eaters, so we're not going to be touching on psychic stuff or Zinch Nurg or any of that stuff. This is going to be our initial thoughts about what this means for World Eaters players, and I mean there's going to be some general tips in here for CSM anyway. But about an hour ago, 45 minutes ago, I messaged you, mate, and was like, what the hell is going on? Like, oh my god, I woke up, looked at my phone, and there's like 100 Discord notifications, and oh god. So that normally means either something massive has happened or someone's done something really bad. And luckily, something massive happened. So we're going to dive in. But Dara, you've had more time to digest this than I have, because I'm coming at this pretty fresh. I'm going to be asking you questions and getting stuff. I've got some notes and screenshots up on my other screen here, but how are you feeling right now, man? What's the vibe?
So obviously I think this book is really amazing. Like, I think shout out another channel if you want to catch like the perfect epitome of like the theme of the book and the mood. Tabletop Tactics have an amazing review with Beard and Chef, and Beard is obviously delighted to have the book and stuff. Yeah. And I think they really capture the mood really well. They say a lot of things better than I would probably say, but overall my impressions are really good. I think the book is it's a pity because I think this book is what every 9th edition Codex should be. Okay. And I think a lot of the books have hit the mark. Like they're similar, like Sisters of Battle, Death Guard, Thousand Sons. I think they're all sitting in that tier. And then obviously we've had books like Tyranids and Tau and stuff that have not been that. And I think in a little way it's a little bit of a shame because I think if everything had come out in this sort of way it would have been an amazing edition. Yeah. But that doesn't really matter right now because we have the Chaos Codex, right? Yeah. And it's pretty damn good. So yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. There's a lot of power in here, but it's not direct power. It's like hidden power that you have to unlock, and that still requires skillful play, I think, to really bring the full potential of some of the abilities to the table. That being said, there are obviously things in here, like a lot of stuff we touched on last week in our live stream, that is really powerful. But yeah, I'm pretty hyped and confused because there's a lot of difficult choices my brain is having to make, which it turns out, Jamie, I'm actually really bad at 40k, especially list writing, because it was really easy in the last like 4 or 5 years when I haven't had really any choices. But now that I do, I'm like, I can't make them.
Yeah, dude, I'm right there with you. Like, I am just, it's mental overload. Like, so much going on, and I jumped in after I woke up and was drinking my first coffee and stuff. I jumped into Scari's stream. He's going over. I think he's actually still live at the moment, but we had to talk about this, so I had to jump out. But he was talking about it, and in his stream, and there were just a couple of things that were brought up by him and some people in the chat. I'm like, oh my god. And then like reading through some of the Discord comments, and then what you was telling me, I'm like, there is so much stuff here. And my initial impression, and this is coming from really a very cursory glance. I mean, obviously we're aware of everything that was leaked up until today, but I'd say a solid, realistically 50% was also unlocked today. Less data sheets, but the full stratagems, all the relics, warlord traits, everything now. And now that our job is to put this together. And my first thoughts are, we need, and this is for every army, but us specifically, is we need to get our heads around resource management. That is going to be, I think, our biggest challenge, because, and this is hand in hand with Nephilim and the 6CP, we now have access to extra warlord traits and relics on unit champions and things like that, which is something we've needed for a long time. And had we have had just those two stratagems a year ago, I think Chaos Space Marines in general would have been a lot stronger in the overall standings. No, not S tier or anything, but I think we would have been a lot more competitive. But now we've got them, but we've also got less CP, so it's going to be balancing. Are we going to take Red Butchers now? Are we going to just blow 6 CP before the game starts? Do we want to keep 2 or 3 for our first turn potential Alpha Strike or Counter Charge? This is going to be a big topic of our long form discussion, in the Discord, and as we produce videos going into unit analysis and combos and things like that. And that's going to be, I think, where the best Chaos Space Marine lists come from, is where that sweet spot is in managing our CP, in our warlord traits. If we take warlord traits, even it may come up that we want to start every game with 6 CP, because that gives us momentum in the first few turns to survive until we can hit our slaughter doctrine. But okay, all right, let's actually dive into some of this now, because I know that's what anyone who's watching this really wants to is here for. Like, again, there is better content out there, everyone. If you just want to get the data, if you want someone to read the Codex to you, or so you can get screenshots, there's other stuff out there. Don't feel locked to us. But this is more going to be Dara and I having a conversation, trying to build some ideas here, get the juices flowing. So
yeah, it's very much like a surface level, kind of like, okay, right, we've had this information for, well, I suppose in your case, like 45 minutes, and it's kind of like what's immediately jumping out at us with the information that we learned last week. What can we put together? What's kind of standing out to us immediately is like, that would be a solid combination. And I think there's a few things here, and like you said, resource management is going to be a big deal. And I would say in the first couple of weeks that it's going to be a very exciting time for everyone, in terms of like, they're going to see a lot of things and they're going to want to do everything. And then as that excitement level kind of cools down, that's when you can really start scheming and really think about the optimal choices, and not just the fact that you want everything. Like, for example, I saw that Flames of Spite, the Warlord trait, today is changed slightly, so it gives you mortal wounds and 6s to wounds still. That single mortal wound. It does it in shooting now as well, which is like, okay, whatever.
Okay.
So kind of cool on a Lord Discordant or something. However, it also gives you full wounds rerolls, which I was immediately like, okay, on a Terminator Lord with Gorefather, that's actually pretty interesting, because you can fish for those 6s and you're actually getting 4 mortals on those 6s.
Yeah.
So the value of the return is insane. And then it got me thinking, though. I was like, well, I'm paying a CP for that Warlord trade and a CP for that Relic on a Terminator guy. Is that necessarily the best thing? But I was really excited, and I had to kind of think to myself, like, no, you can invest that better. And I think that's going to be a lot of the sort of thought processes that we're going to have to work our way through to really get to something that is the best for us. But what I really like about it is that I think there's a lot of fantastic options to build a list or an army to suit yourself, rather than necessarily conform to whatever the internet tells you is best. I got a list that I kind of brought to you guys a little bit last week. I've been refining it, touching on it a little bit. And I think learning some of the power and the stratagems I found out today, I'm actually really excited to try that list, I think. And I think it's actually probably going to be the list I bring to the Leeds Super Major later this year. So, first rodeo kind of job. Yeah. But yeah, let's dive in. Let's hit me with some words and rules.
Okay. Well, hopefully when I edit this, I'll adjust us and I'll put some pictures on screen. But if I'm too lazy, I won't. So we're opening up. We're going to gloss over a lot of this stuff. Everyone knows or has access to know how the Legion traits, relics, and all that stuff is applied to your army. What Let the Galaxy Burn is. Chapter approved secondaries. This is common knowledge. We're not here to, teach you rote this stuff. We're trying to medium brain some stuff. So the first shots I've got here are going to be stratagems. Okay, so I'll kind of
crucially before you go on, Let the Galaxy Burn bonuses to hit for flamers works on the Brass Scorpion. Just putting that out there.
We were
just putting that out there.
We were getting there. Don't worry. So stratagem wise, there is a lot to go through here. But again, I'm going to skip over anything that is locked to another legion or locked to, say, a Mark of Nurgle or something like that. So, Death of the False Emperor. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say it's fantastic the amount of choice and variety that you get here, that every legion actually has a page of stratagems and relics and warlord. Like, the flavor here is phenomenal, because
so much that can be done. Yeah.
You have pages of generic stratagems, pages of well, not pages, but there are specific god-lock stratagems, and then you have legion-lock stratagems. Like, this is what I mean by that drilling down. You can go level and level deeper into the specific build that you're really interested in. Yeah. I just find it so fascinating. But yeah, let's go for it, Jamie.
So, Death of the False Emperor. So, Death of the False Emperor returns, but now as a stratagem, because obviously the old rule has now been rolled into Let the Galaxy Burn in a slightly different variation. So this strat is a fight phase strat. Excuse me. Traitorous Astartes unit, so that's pretty much anything.
Traitorous Astartes is everything that is in power armor.
Okay, right, so just not cultists. Spawn, I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't think so. No, I don't think they have Traitorous Astartes.
We're thinking about any of these kind of power buff strats. We're certainly going to be thinking about our Terminators, Possessed, Warp Talons, those kind of units. Maybe a souped up HQ if you run it. So, fight phase stratagem, Traitorous Astartes, until the end of the phase. Each time a Heretic Astartes model in this unit, makes a melee attack against Adeptus Astartes or Sanctic Astartes, so that's any Space Marine or Grey Knight, you can re-roll the hit roll. So, fight phase, full hit rolls, full re-rolls to hits for 1 CP, nice.
Fantastic, yeah, Love really, really good.
Yep, it's good. Because it's a stratagem, so if you're playing against Sisters of Battle or Eldar, you don't need it. But if you are playing against Salamanders, say, because you can't re-roll the wound rolls now on the limited options we have that could do that, you can still buff up your power, you can push through more attacks in the volume in the hit phase. So that's perfect. 1 CP, perfect. I love it. Limiting it to Space Marines is fine because it is flavourful. And I don't mind the flavour in a stratagem. I don't like it as a Legion trait, like the old Death to the False Emperor. But a stratagem, fine. And it looks like there's only 1 or 2 that are kind of like opponent locked. If it was a lot of stuff, I'd hate it. But it's 1, and there are other ways to get rerolls to hit. So I think that's good, and I like a little bit of fluff like that. Right? Does that sound fair to you, mate?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, like the Space Marines already have this stratagem for fighting us, so it's only fair that we get it back in turn. I think it's going to come up, It's gonna come
absolutely, up. Marines of all flavors are always popular in any level of the game. So next we go on to Demon Forge. One of our favorites from previous. Let's see how this one tickles us. So this is a 2 CP, 1 CP. If it's Titanic, it's going to cost 2 CP. Otherwise, it's 1. So your Maulafins, Helldrakes are going to be 1. Your Brass Scorpion or your Lord of Skulls or Khitan is going to be 2 CP. So, Traitorous, so this is shooting or fight phase. Demon Engine, Traitorous Astartes, whatever. Unit from your army selected shoot or fight until the end of the phase. Improve the weapon, this is important, improve the weapon skill and ballistic skill characteristics of models in that unit by 1. So that improves the WS or BS by 1. It's not +1 to the hit roll. Your 3-up becomes a 2-up, or your 4-up becomes a 3-up, or, you know, if you're degraded or something like that. Which means, at least if I'm understanding this right, that will stack with any access to +1 to hit from, say, a Disco Lord or Warpsmith. So one of the things we saw in the Lord of Skulls data slate change, which was leaked earlier in the week, was, you know, his BS and WS now degrade, which, okay, that sucks because it used to not do that. But we have access to bring him back to where he needs to be. So it's not as good, in my opinion, obviously, as the old Demon Forge, but I think this is a very fair, like, transmutation, right? Does that seem...
Yeah, I mean, like, let's be real, like, Demon Forge was broken in its previous iteration, 1 CP reroll, everything. Like, okay, cool, we all knew that wasn't going to hang around, you know, this is a fair compromise.
Wait. Mm-hmm. This improves your weapon skill, your ballistic skill by 1, right? It's not +1 to hit. So your Decimator with Soul Burners in Wanton Assault phase, a 5 is not +1 to hit. Doesn't a 5 now actually become a 6? It's too early.
No. If it's improving your ballistic skill, then it just means he hits on 2s base.
Okay. Oh shit. All right.
But I guess if you have like the Disco Lord to proc it off on 5s, then
yeah, we're gonna have to talk about this and get some
real I'm not
rules.
Sure about the Decimator, but like I don't know. I don't think there's going to be many ways to exploit that exploding on 5s.
Yeah, because it is unmodified 6. Okay, all right. I thought I had it for a second, man. I thought I had it. I apologise. Okay, so another winning stratagem, Fury of Khorne. Here we go. So the old one was 3 CP, fight again at the end of the phase. So this is now 1 CP, using the fight phase. Everything is traitorous Astartes Khorne. I'm only going to mention it now if it's not traitorous Astartes, okay? It's too wordy. Unit from your army selected to fight. End of the phase. When you make a melee attack, an unmodified hit roll of 6 automatically wounds. Okay, fight phase, lasguns, basically.
Phenomenal.
But, you know, you're going against Astartes, and you've got some CP in your pocket, and you pop Fury of Khorne, and you pop Death to the False Emperor, full rerolls to hit on, let's say, a unit of Berserkers or Warp Talons or something with a horrendous amount of tax, and you can fish for 6s. I don't want to... the math on that is going to be horrendous.
I think this is like this... Remember I was speaking to you about the Raptors, like they're my big go-to. Yeah. Can you imagine the potency of this? Especially if you pop them into Wanton Slaughter with Stoke the Nails.
Yeah.
So each 6 is giving you an extra hit, which becomes a wound, and then also giving you an automatic wound. It's phenomenal. Like, there's so much power in that stratagem.
Okay, so the 6 that you roll normally, it becomes... So the 6 itself becomes an auto wound, but then the Wanton
it also
6,
procs
you
an
have
extra
to roll for the wound, though.
You have to roll for the wound. It just becomes like the basic hit. It doesn't... Because we had that issue with the infinite bolters from Imperial Fists. Yeah. Okay. So like every 6 is giving you effectively
just a wound on top of the normal
wound
roll.
On top of your normal roll. Yeah,
okay,
which is...
that's great. That's fucking amazing.
Like I can see those Raptors actually like... you know, like walking through things.
Well,
or like, you charge Possessed into a tank, they'll walk through that tank, you know? It's really, really amazing.
So I played a game, I don't know, about 3 or 4 months ago against Creations of Bile, and they had something very similar to that.
Yeah, I believe they do.
And it was a squad of 15 Raptors. They got the +1 attack from Fabius. They had Exalted Champion with rerolls to wound. You know, all chainswords, obviously, and they killed my Lord of Skulls almost twice over in 1 round of combat because they were fishing for hits, and then the 6 is auto wounded and stuff. So yeah, that is a very powerful ability, and things that have volume. And okay, so yeah, like maybe the things that don't tier up so well in strength, like Raptors, are going to be strength 5 but strength 6 with Stoke and things like that. But yeah, all right. There's play there. That I mean, you know,
is that core lock, Jamie? Sorry, I can't remember. Is that locked to core? Just Traitorous Astartes. So you can use that on Warp Talons.
Khorne.
Oh. Yeah. So you can use that on Talons, Possessed.
You can use
whatever.
that on a Lord of Skulls. I mean,
you probably don't need to.
No, you don't, but you can. Like, there's.
But you can, you can.
Okay, Hatred Eternal. End of your shooting phase, 1 unit. Sorry. End of your shooting phase or at the end of your fight phase. Legionaries only, so yeah, whatever. Shooting phase. Shoot again, fight again. Great. No one's running Legionaries, at least not right now.
Yeah, World Eaters aren't. Every other Legion probably is.
Yeah,
that's just
true.
how it is.
I can
like
see
Legionaries are
actually, but
Legionaries are amazing in every Legion that isn't the World Eaters, which is quite amusing. But that's just how it is. You know, it's fine.
Well, and
we
that
have
actually
better...
works fluff-wise, really. I mean,
right.
It fits, but I don't want to dive into that because it's not something I'm going to need to think about in the current meta. We'll revise that if and when things change. So then we go on to Slaanesh. Alright, Veterans of the Long War. It's what we saw from Death Guard 1000 Suns. +1 to wound, 2 CP, infantry or bikes. Excellent, great.
Yeah.
Wrath of the Chosen, 1 CP. Shooting phase, fight phase. Terminators or Chosen. Shoot or fight until the end of the phase. Add 1 to the attacked hit roll.
Super good.
I like having access for a 1 CP strat. Terminators and Chosen are both solid units. I think there's cause for either or, sometimes both. I think you're going to, at the moment, and this is where we've talked to Cal and Jack and loads of people in the Discord, Terminators, Chosen or Possessed, there isn't a list out there at the moment that I've seen that isn't running at least one of these units as a very heavy infantry. This is our super elite infantry that's going to absorb some shit. They're going to trudge up the board, and it just depends what role you want them for. And this one, being Terminators and Chosen, just adds another tool to make them even more effective, especially at shooting phase and fight phase. I think that's pretty damn solid, mate.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, the ability to give a unit plus... does it improve their ballistic skill, or does it give them +1
to hit? Let me just double check. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, add 1 to that attack's hit roll. So +1 to hit.
So you automatically negate any Harlequins or Custodes or any other units in the game that give you -1 to hit, which would otherwise mess with you. As we all know, it's quite annoying to have those effects on. So being able to just get rid of that is fantastic. And I mean, there's nothing... It's not irrelevant to pop this on a unit of Terminators that's shooting and needs to get something killed.
Yeah.
You know, I really think it's another really potent stratagem, and one that I can see a lot of people using, especially because I think Red Butchers are going to be really popular. I can see them making waves, and the volume of attacks that you'll be putting out in the combat phase means the investment is definitely worth it, in my opinion, to get +1 to hit.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the time, I would say you probably don't even need it with the Red Butchers. So, like, use it accordingly, right? Yeah. A lot of the time, you won't need them to be hitting on 2s to get the job done. Yeah. But if they're going into something very difficult to kill, or is giving them minuses to hit, you can just be like, cool, don't worry about it.
Yeah. There's and I know there's a couple other stratagems here that we'll talk about in a moment that are going to combo nicely with that. So next one here is Blasphemous Machines. So it's a 1 CP, 2 CP, it's a Machine Spirit or Demon Engine, and you do this in your command phase, so this includes your Land Raiders. Wounds characteristic of 10 or more. Until the start of your next command phase, so you get a whole round of this, that model is considered to have its 4 wounds remaining for determining characteristics. If it's Titanic, it's 2 CP. So... you can give if your Land Raider's sitting there on like 4 wounds, 3 wounds, whatever its bottom tier is, and you need it to really, pop off the last 3 or 4 damage off of an enemy tank or something, 1 CP, and you're back up to, shooting on 3s. Or what have you, right? This is going to be huge if people are running, a Lord of Skulls and stuff, because...
absolutely.
getting that extra movement out, especially in the in round 3, is absolutely ridiculously powerful, I think.
And I would say that, like, while it is not difficult to necessarily degrade a Lord of Skulls, it's very difficult to strip his full 30 wounds off him. Equally, the Breast Scorpion. So, like, how many times previously have we had instances where it's like our cool big demon engine is on his bottom profile, and it's like, okay, he might as well be gone.
Yeah.
But now you can turn him on for 1 more turn, and it really pushes that distraction element that those kind of units bring to the table.
To die now. Or in your opponent, you're putting that in your opponent's head. Like if you're rocking up with the Lord of Skulls, you say, okay, he's 30 wounds, he's T8, 2 up, armor contempt, blah blah blah. I can buff him with this, that. Oh, and by the way, if you don't kill him, I'm starting with 5 CP. I just spend 2, and he's at his top bracket, so he's back to hitting you on 3s. He's moving 10, and that's for the whole turn. That's for the shooting phase and the fight phase, and whatever else is relevant. That's good psyops right there, because then they have to try and kill him, or they ignore him.
It's you know what, Jamie? There's a stratagem in here that is we'll get to it when we get to it, but it might make it a little bit harder to kill him. Anyway, let's keep going.
Okay, Fell Prayers. Use this at the start of any of your phases other than your command phase. Priest only. Traitorous Astartes priest. So it does have to be the apostle and not the
it can't be the commune.
Yep. From your army that has not chanted a prayer this turn, that model can chant one prayer that has not already been chanted by a friendly model this turn. That prayer is automatically heard, do not roll, and takes effect until the start of your next command phase. 2 CP. So
I don't really get that.
It's situational. That you've got to be playing out the whole turn in your head before you move, or before you do your command phase stuff, or your movement phase stuff. I can see situations for it, like, your apostles surrounded by the butchers and you're going into something like Drakari, and you know that they could move and just overwhelm your Terminators. So you may think, okay, do I want to make them, only hit on 4s if they dedicate shooting to me, or do I want to give them rerolls to hit if they come into combat with me? Or there may be situations where you don't quite know what you want to do, so you save that as okay, here we go. You've decided not to shoot me, you want to fight me in the fight phase. Well, I'm going to be re-rolling all hits against you.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see that stratagem not really coming up that much, to be fully honest. Yeah. I'm disappointed it's not just like pop off another prayer, but here we are. It's fine.
And it's also 2 CP, which I think if it was 1 CP, it would have been okay, but I think the 2 CP does degrade it. But again, it's something we've got. There will come up a situation in your next 50 games where you might actually use it. And it's good. You
just gotta remember it.
Yeah, you gotta remember it. Yeah, it's like Chaos Spoon for the last 3 years till we started going crazy about it, and then oh my god, I've got a Chaos Spoon. Alright, Fire Frenzy. This is the Hellbrute one. Shoot again. It's 1 CP. You can shoot as if it's a shooting phase. It's basically the Death Guard one, right?
I believe so. I believe it's identical.
Yeah, you get. Yeah, I mean, this one we've kind of known about. Great Sorcerer, don't care. Aspiring Lord. Okay, here's where we're getting onto some of the kind of interesting stuff here. A little bit blurry for me, so I'm going to read this out so we can get our heads around it. Use this stratagem before the battle when you're mustering your army. If your warlord has the Traitorous Astartes keyword, select 1 Traitorous Astartes character model, excluding named characters, from your army, and determine 1 warlord trait for it. This must be a warlord trait. Okay, that model isn't. Is this just how to give a warlord trait?
Yeah, it's just bonus warlord trait.
Okay. Alright. Is it once per battle, or is this? Okay, so you can do it multiple times.
Yeah,
you just can't give 2 traits to 1 character. Okay. Yep, that's what we expected.
Yeah. Yep.
Gifts of Chaos, I'm going to guess, is the relic thing. Before the battle. Well, looks like the relics. Okay. So here's one little caveat here. If you use this stratagem to give a character model a second relic, none of that model's relics can be a demon weapon. You cannot use this stratagem to give a model 3 relics. You can only use this stratagem once, unless you are playing a Strike Force battle, in which case you can use it twice. So, yeah.
So you can double up relics, which is...
as long as they're not demon weapons.
Right. So you can have a squad... Well, I don't know if you can do it with a squad of Red Butchers. Maybe you can? I'm not sure. How does that work?
It's if your warlord has the Traitorous Astartes keyword. So, in Nockmund, and I assume for Nephilim, your warlord has to be a character. Because previously it wasn't. You could model your warlord, but now it has to be a character. So...
so what I'm saying is, like, if you can give... Because we can give squad sergeants relics now.
Well, that's the next strat here. Use the stratagem. Traitorous. If your warlord has TA keyword, select one Traitorous Society's model from your army, excluding characters, that has the word aspiring or champion in its profile. That model can have one of the following relics of chaos, even though it's not a character: Hypergrowth, Maelstrom's Bites, Ashen Axe, the Armor, Diabolus, Viper's Spike, a whole list of a shit ton of relics.
Does it have that the black
the black
what
mace?
is it? No, the other one. It's like the icon something.
Icon of the Hydra Cult.
No, not that one.
Armor of Aber, Talons of the Night Terror, Claw of the Stygian Count, Spite Spitter, Axe of the Forge Master, Lord's Reward, Trophies of Slaughter, the Black Mace, Blade of the Relentless, Black Rune of Just Damnation.
That's the one.
It does.
Yeah, that's
each
okay.
relic.
Okay.
Each relic must be unique. You can only use this stratagem once unless you're playing Strike Force. Okay, so initial understanding, we can use it twice because of Strike Force, but I think you can only give one relic to one.
I don't think you can give.
You can't give a Terminator Sergeant 2 relics. I don't think.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think because it has to be a character, right, for the other one.
Yeah, this model can have one of the following relics, even though it's not a character. Then the list. Each relic must be unique. You can only. It doesn't say you can't, except the previous one explicitly allows it. So we're gonna.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to
I don't know
really
if it's
deep
ever going to be worth it, but it's interesting.
It's
But there's a relic there that I think is so potent, and I think there's combinations in there that are going to be, I don't know,
okay,
maybe too good. I think, I don't know. There's spice. Okay. There's really good spice. But anyway.
All right. So that was first 2 pages of stratagems, of generic stratagems. We've now got 2 more pages of generic stratagems. Okay. Geez.
Keep in mind, this is on top of our own stratagems.
Yeah, on top
guys.
of the world
this is crazy amount of power.
Contempt over caution, 1 CP, 2 CP. Shooting phase. Select a Legion core unit from your army that is not within engagement range, and then select 1 enemy unit. Models in this unit are shooting into combat. So you can target that enemy unit even if that enemy unit is with engagement range of other friendly models, provided those other friendly units are all Legion units, okay? Each time a model in that Legion unit makes an attack, you cannot re-roll the hit roll, and an unmodified 1 scores a hit against a friendly Legion unit, okay, with an engagement range. Cultist, it's 1 CP on.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Okay.
It's awesome. I love. It's so fluffy.
Oh, if the cultists are in engagement range, it's 1 CP.
Yeah. If you're shooting into cultists, it's only 1 CP because they just don't give a shit.
Oh man.
It's so. I don't know if there's been a better. I think that is peak stratagem. Yes. That is peak chaos stratagem, where it's like you can kill your own guys, and if you're killing these specific D tier guys, it's even cheaper.
Yeah.
Let's go. I want a day where my Terminators are hosing into a squad and mowing down as many cultists as guys. What is hilarious is if you have a plasma gun and you roll a 1, you kill yourself and you kill someone else on your own team.
That's so great.
Yeah.
So I can see this being especially powerful for, I would imagine, stuff like Iron Warriors and Black Legion, where they're just going to be absolutely maximising shooting. But it's a nice one to have, because cultists are still going to be an option for us, because our berserkers are going to want to go forward, and we're going to want sometimes something cheap at the backfield. It's going to come up. It's going to come up because your enemy's going to, oh my god, his Lord of Skulls is still alive. I need to make sure I'm protected, so I'll try point these cultists. Not anymore, you won't.
Yep.
We'll pop you with.
Can you pop this stratagem on? Is it just infantry that you pop it on?
It's Legion Core, so it's like
Terminators.
Okay.
So
chosen
my Kratos can't blow guys up.
No, unfortunately not.
All right, that's fine. I'll take this. Okay, cool.
Unending Destruction, shooting phase, infantry, or Traitorous Society, excluding cultists, that's performing an action. You can shoot and do an action.
Really good.
Yep.
Really
that
good.
Makes Havocs go from, I don't think anyone was really considering them seriously, to actually
Maybe.
If depending on,
or even having Terminators that aren't necessarily going to be charging in a turn, be able to action like do God Rod and then shoot. Yeah. I can see that being really good.
Because if you're running a lot of flamers, or you're running 10 combi bolters, and you have a target, I want to shoot 10 combi bolters because that volume, it always chips a couple of wounds or kills a few models. It's just it's very good. Okay, so good. Another one. It is 2 CP, but it's good. Relentless Devastation, use in your movement phase when infantry, excluding cultists, from your army makes a normal move or advance until the end of your shooting phase, remain stationary. So you can advance and shoot your rapid fire combi bolters on your Terminators for 1 CP, which is nice. It's nice to have as an option.
I think it's pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good.
I think
probably doesn't come up as much for the World Leaders as other legions, but
well, one of my things is like we're both pretty agreed on the Terminator, on the Red Butchers here, having a large squad of Terminators. Or for me, I still keep considering. Oh no, it's infantry only. Okay, but Terminators then. I am thinking about dedicating a point to frenzy them 5 inches. But now I can advance them if I want to save that CP there. I can try to go for the advance to get into a position, and if there is a target, if I'm going second or they've deployed badly, again I can throw my rapid fire bolts.
Totally. Absolutely.
And remain stationary has a few other things tied to it here and there that may come up. So good one. 1 CP, nice option. Ritual offerings. Cultist unit. When an enemy unit is destroyed by a cultist unit from your army until the end of the battle, that cultist, I assume, automatically passes morale, because this is very
I believe it's something like that, yeah.
And each time I'm modeling that cultist unit, I think you add 1 or reroll 1s to attacks. So if you're running the cultist hordes, look like there's some tools here to start giving some worth to just a cultist army.
I can see the word bearers taking advantage of a lot of those stratagems. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Scorn of Sorcery. This is exactly the same as our version.
Pretty weird how it's here as well, right?
So because it's got the same name, we can't use it twice. Which I was hoping it was going to be here, but called something different, just to double down on our anti-psychic stuff. But okay, because it is a slight debuff to the previous version, but it's we've got it. And then if you want to run Khorne word bearers, you've got it as well, or have a Khorne unit in your army, which I think everyone is now going to be taking a Khorne unit, unless you're Emperor's Children, of course.
Yeah, I would say
it's such a great stratagem. It's a great
potentially,
stratagem. Nurgle, then we go Chaos Undivided, which won't matter for us. Tide of Traitors, okay.
Still there, actually. Different, but still there.
So this is Cultist mob only, which is what we've always referred to as Cultist. It's the bog standard. Use it in your command phase. A unit that is either within 6 inches of a battlefield edge or within 6 inches of your deployment zone. Up to D3+3 destroyer models can be added back to that unit. These return models cannot be set up within engagement range of any enemy units unless those enemy units are already within engagement range. Okay.
It's not terrible. When do you use that strategy?
In your command phase, right?
At the beginning or the end?
Use the stratagem in your command phase. Any point in the command phase. Okay, so my first thoughts here, Dara. Unit of 10 cultists or 20, it doesn't really matter. And you make them a bit vulnerable to enemy small arms fire because you don't care about them. And the enemy shoots them and kills 7 or 8 or something, whatever. In your command phase, this is with you going second, or could be used in later turns. We get the healing cheese, right? We put those models back within coherency, but it doesn't say we can't.
It doesn't. Yeah, you can get some really interesting.
We can take an objective in our command phase. If we're going second and they kill not quite enough of that squad, then we just regenerate them forwards within coherency and land on that objective, or you know, in a position to be able to move to Godrod in turn 1 or whatever. It's different
because you can pull from the back.
Yep, and
regenerate from the forward.
Yeah, it's like Necron's reanimation.
Yeah, it's like Necrons or Tervigans for the Tyranids. Like,
or
there's a
Blood
lot of
Angels, Blood Priest, bring them back.
There's lots of big brain plays there. Yep, it's pretty good.
At 1 CP, nice to have. I mean, 1 CP could earn you 4 victory points here or whatever, right? Because I believe Cultists still have OBSEC, so...
no, they don't.
Oh, they don't? They lost it?
Yeah, yeah. They're troops, they don't have OBSEC.
Okay. Alright, that's fine. So then we go Slaanesh. Okay, Vicious Descent. This is a jump pack. Use it in your charge phase on a jump pack. After you finish a charge move, select one enemy unit within engagement range. Roll 1d6 for each model in your jump pack unit that is within engagement range, so you have to be within an inch, not half and half, but you must be within an inch of that enemy. For each result that exceeds the enemy's toughness, the enemy suffers 1 mortal wound. Okay.
Always good. You come into elves, you come into Tau, you come into guard. You can just, hammer a unit of 10 raptors in, take 5 of them out immediately. Yeah. I don't know if you're always going to need to do it, but there's
but it's nice.
I would say certain units that are a little bit more annoying.
Well, if you're going into Harlequins with a 4-up invuln.
Right, yeah, that's it, exactly.
I think you definitely do it. I think, like, if you've got, like, an 8 or 10 size jump pack unit, I think you do it. Because...
Yep, 100%.
Like, that just means... It's also good tech there, because if you're charging with 2 or more, and they could interrupt, you can whittle one down with that, and then fight with your other unit, meaning their interrupt is either less effective, or they just don't want to do it. So...
Yeah, I mean, you can do some really interesting things with that stratagem, even into tougher marine units that you might be a little bit worried about killing, that you can get those, maybe on the averages you're just pipping it, that you're just killing them. Maybe this is a way of ensuring you're pushing through those extra, say, for example, like a Gravis unit or another Primaris unit. I know it's like, it's tougher with the T5, but you'll get a couple through on a 10-man unit, and maybe that's all you need.
Yeah, so if you roll 10 dice, you should get at least 3 5s and 6s, because it's equals or exceeds.
Yeah, exactly. So you could be dragging a guy down.
Yep.
Even Custodes, dude. I do not hate it against Custodes. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
We like it.
Warpborn, that is a 1 CP as well. So Warpborn Foresight, end of the reinforcement step of your opponent's movement for... Oh, this is Zinch, sorry. Winds of the Warp is going to be... Oh, okay.
Winds of the Warp is for us. This is an interesting one.
Opponent's shooting phase.
A surprising to see stratagem, I would say.
1 CP, opponent's shooting phase, biker or jump pack unit for your army that advanced in your previous movement phase or was set up during the reinforcement step. Once it's selected as a target of attack until the end of the phase, each time attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Okay, I think something very similar Loyalists have, at least some of them. Or...
I'm not aware of any Space Marines that have it.
Like Dark Angels,
Dark Angels have it on the Raven Wing. That's like their army rule. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a lot more, because like that's your whole army rule for them, right? This is so what I find really interesting about this, right? Yeah, sure. You advance and you basically, it's whatever. You get your -1 if you get shot at.
Yeah.
What's really cool to me is that it stipulates as well that if you are set up as reinforcements, right?
Yeah.
So you can get set up as reinforcements, and you can make your charge. You can wipe out an enemy unit, and then they have to deal with you, right? And then you can just be like, boom, -1 a hit. And that to me is actually really interesting.
Yeah.
It's like, and even if what it does is like, it makes it feel bad if you fail that charge, because you're like, I do still have that added survivability boost in here.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool, and I think for your turn 1s, if you need to just do some repositioning real quick, and it works for bikers as well, right?
Yeah, bikers and jump packs.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, again, it's another awesome 1 CP strat. I'm happy with this.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a cool one. I like it.
Alright, sorry, just thinking here. If the one we talked about earlier, which allows you to remain stationary if you advance, Does that break the fact that you could now do an action? Because I'm sure this has come up with other things. Because obviously,
I think it only counts. It only counts as till the end of the shooting phase.
Okay, alright.
So if you're doing an action that lasts the whole turn, you wouldn't get it. I kind of the thought did cross my mind, but that'd be pretty broken.
And
if you
I'm
could
sure
do
it's
stuff
come
like
up like with stuff like Death Guard, who always count as remaining stationary for the most part. But
exactly. Yeah.
Just I'm just trying to find the things here. So Demon Shell or Demon Shells. Okay, it's not just
now
one
we
shell,
have more
it's
than one.
Shells. All right.
Yeah.
Traitors Astartes in your shooting phase, 1 CP. Selected to shoot, add 6 inches to the range of all bolt weapons, and improve the AP by 1. I kind of like that. I kind of like that a lot. Because my Terminators just got a lot faster, and they can reach out and touch a little bit further now. And okay, against Marines, the AP doesn't matter, but there's a lot of armies that -1.
Yeah. I don't even hate it, dude, on like a unit of raptors flying forward in the first turn and just being like blap blap. I'm just like, alright, cool. I got 18-inch bolt pistols. They're all AP1.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
And like, okay, maybe you've put a priest to put them in wanton slaughter straight away, so they pop. You probably don't do that, to be fair. It's pop them on 6s, but you can. Yeah. Like the thing is, there's a lot of things here where it's like, yeah, you can do that if you want to, and it's not bad. And I really don't hate like bunch of bolt pistols just popping off. Even berserkers in a pinch, if they need to get the job done, they can soften some guys up with their newfound bolt pistols. But I think this does really shine on the Terminators in a big way.
We can make them hit on 2s. We can make them 30 inches at AP1. I know we can get access to reroll 1s. So it's starting to come together now. So
it's just so interesting to me how Terminators have gone from an initial like, "Ooh, I don't think I'll take those anymore," to actually are they a serious mainstay? It's because of all this power in the background, in the sort of areas that we haven't seen, that it's like, wow, actually you can do a lot with these guys.
Okay, here we go. Here's where it's starting now. This has just been the foreplay. Here's where it's kicking off. Infernal Engine. 1 CP or 2 CP. Demon Engine, so if it's Titanic, it's 2 CP, this is what we're thinking about here, okay? And use the stratagem in your opponent's shooting phase, so this is a tasty little reactive one once you've baited them out to do something. Oh god, this is great. When the Demon Engine is selected as the target of an attack, so it's even better because they actually have to commit, okay, my unit of heavy weapons here is everyone with their 2 damage guns is going into your Lord of Skulls because I need to kill it. Because I've got in their head about I can just put it on full health again. Until the end of the phase, each time an attack is allocated to that model, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic. So we get... Oh...
It's so powerful. It's actually so ridiculously powerful when you consider how it combos with acting on full profile. I think there is like serious power in that. Like in a, and it's not even obvious because it costs 2 CP on a Lord of War, right? 2 CP
on a Titanic.
Yeah,
one
but like
little.
even on Lord Discordance, that's pretty filthy if they get caught out, right?
Yep. Decimators because they don't have the forge or the dreadnought stuff.
Now they can.
Yeah, and they don't pay
Blood Slaughters, I would say as well. Pretty tasty on those guys.
Yeah.
The other demon engines exist too.
They exist, and there's going to be balanced data slates and points changes.
Yeah, right.
It's nice to have it. Okay.
But I think it's magnificent on a Brass Scorpion or a Lord of Skulls. And even, to be honest, dude, it makes me not hate the Khitan so much,
Yeah. With the points changes to the Lord of Skulls, the Khitan by default became something we remembered, and with these kind of buffs is also something that we might think about.
I think the Brass Scorpion at 475 points, though, with a 50-point decrease and having ability to get access to these 2 stratagems, a Demon Forge for improved ballistic or weapon skill, extra flamers. There's a lot to be said for the Brass Scorpion at 475 points.
Yes, there is. Okay, we're almost done with the stratagems here. So we've got Sky Strike Missile, Shooting Phase, Infantry,
It's just
Targets and Aircraft,
shoot down
2d3
planes.
mortal wounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
2d3,
fine.
so it was 1d3, but now it's 2d3.
It's an aircraft, though. No
one's right.
Yeah.
And then we get Smokescreen. So anyone with the Smokescreen keyword, -1 to hit. Awesome. So that is our stratagems. There is a lot there. An awful lot there, and a lot of good stuff. There was a couple in there which were very situational, or maybe you're going to forget them. But there's a lot of stuff. I need to make sure my head remembers this shit, because if you are running a Lord of Skulls or a Scorpion or something, there's 2 or 3 stratagems there. You need to have them memorized. Like 100, you need to know when you play them, at what point in the order of operations, because they are game changing. Like,
I will say this now. I'm actually pretty glad that we are only getting half the amount of CP. Because if we had access to the full 12 CP, our book would be broken with this board of stratagems.
Yeah.
When you consider that each legion has their own page of stratagems as well,
yeah,
I am genuinely very glad that we do not have the ability to spam all these stratagems at once, because you know what? Mark said it well. I was talking to him earlier, and we were talking about this, and he said if we were able to do all these things, we would just be AdMech.
Yeah,
and it's
true.
So true. Yeah. It's so true. Can you imagine if we were able to, like, every single turn be like, I'm actually on full profile, I'm -1 damage on my Lord of Skulls or Scorpion, and also my Terminators are doing all these other things, and like, now you have resource management, and I'm like, yo, that's sick. I'm here for that energy.
Absolutely. All right, so now.
So what's next? Yeah, what's next?
Looks like relics. Looks like we're starting with the demon weapons. We knew a couple of these, but the one we're here for is the Khorne one. So, demon weapons, let's just go over this bit. I think we already knew it. When you're selected to fight, roll 2d6. If it's less than or equal to your leadership, it can fight as normal. Otherwise, you can suffer d3 mortals and fight, or use your other weapon. Basically, you cannot make any attacks with the demon weapons it's equipped with. So, if you're running double melee, you can do that, because you can't use your generic fist if you've got an actual weapon equipped, I assume. I'm pretty sure that's a rule.
I would... The fact that it says that you're allowed not to use the demon weapon leads me to believe that... Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Because, you're hopefully got an apostle in there making everyone leadership 10 at least anyway. The odds of it happening, whatever. So, Zal the Wrathful, who I don't even remember what he did previously.
He added d6 to your strength.
Oh, yeah, which was generally shit. Like,
yeah, it was totally shit.
Yeah. Okay, Khorne model only. Select one melee weapon, excluding relics. That weapon is now a relic. Each time the bearer makes an attack with this weapon, add d3 to the damage.
Oh, yeah.
So let's go. Yes,
Jack's
please.
Demon Prince. Looking real sexy.
Yeah.
Looking real good.
So,
look, that has a wide range of applications.
Yeah.
Lord Discordance, Demon Princes.
I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are here, okay?
Yeah.
Because someone mentioned, like, kind of, it was semi-leaked yesterday. Someone kind of had a text copy or something like that. So we kind of thought this was going to happen, and obviously it has. My thoughts on this, and I may be in the unpopular camp here, I think it goes better on a 1 damage weapon. Because I think your Demon Prince with a 3 damage sword is, certainly Jack's version of the Demon Prince, is obliterating whatever it touches anyway. And that means you are very much limited. Your efficiency is locked into knights, 16 wound models, or like
sure, yeah. Your targets are picked for you.
You go into guardsmen. Oh, great! I've spent a CP to have. So yeah, I think it locks you in a bit. I think, however, if you throw it on like a 1 or 2 damage weapon, probably a 1 damage on like, if this can go on a Terminator Sergeant, I'm not sure.
I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah. But I mean, it's interesting. It has a lot of interesting applications, but it goes back to what I was saying, where you have that choice where you're like, yes, I can certainly do this.
Yeah.
But you have to make the choice, because if you're doing that, you're not doing something else. And I'm such a big fan of that choice, and that, like, kind of, think about it, make these difficult decisions, and Yeah, it's just cool. I really like that we can't stack the deck like crazy high in our favor.
But we have awesome choices.
It's every choice is like it's such a good sign of a well-balanced internally well-balanced book that we have so many amazing choices and it's difficult to pick between them.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have anything being like, oh hey, that's obviously the best thing, let's take it every time, except for potentially one relic that I would say, holy shit, that is such a powerful relic. But let's get to that one.
Okay. Well, now speaking of relics, here are our generic relics. Inferno Tome, priest model only. This relic can be given to a cultist model. Okay, because I think there's a stipulation out there about cultists can't take relics unless they specifically say otherwise.
Yeah.
So it looks like this can go on the Dark Commune, priest, and the apostle. The bearer knows one additional prayer from the Dark Gods, and each time the bearer chants a prayer, or if it is heard, the closest enemy unit within 18 suffers D3 mortal wounds.
It's pretty funny. It's just like, bam, smite. Yeah. And it means that your priest has, in our case, 4 prayers.
Yeah, 4 prayers, yeah.
He is the master of mass. He knows everything. Yeah. It's amazing. It's pretty cool.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. It's certainly a good one. I don't know if it's the best one, but it's one that I would say it's worth considering.
I think something like word bearers, I imagine, are going to be doing a lot with their apostles. So I think it's going to be a lot.
Those boys are spitting bars.
Strong. Yeah. All right. Gorget, whatever the hell of eternal hate.
It is the Gorget of eternal hate.
Gorget of eternal hate. Add 1 to the armor saving throws. The bearer has a 4-up invuln. The first time the bearer is destroyed, before removing it from play, roll 1d6 for each enemy unit within 3 inches of the bearer. On a 2 of 5, the enemy unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. On a 6, that enemy suffers 3 mortal wounds. Okay.
It's kind of funny. It's like the Phoenix gem, but they don't come back to life afterwards.
Yeah, but they do a shit ton of damage if you've... Again, that is a nice one. There's going to be some builds with that.
I don't hate it, yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't be taking it myself. I think you can actually put that on a sergeant. I think it's one of the ones you can put on a squad.
Well,
and I kind of think it would be...
Lord as well, Darren.
You can put it on a Disco Lord.
For a 1-up save and a 4-up
invuln.
Oh
shit, yeah, I didn't think about that.
A 1-up save with Armor of Contempt, a 4-up invuln.
Oh, there's something there. There's absolutely something there. Yeah, 100%. That's such a good call, dude. Well done.
Toughness 6.
That's fantastic, yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Because they don't come baked in with a 4+ invuln, do they?
No, they have a 2-up, 5-up.
Yeah, right. Okay, cool. So you can give him a 1-up, 4-up, and he blows up.
And he's got Lookout Sir now. And,
So look, if you're interested in a Disco Lord, Jamie's got that one down for you all, you know. Eyes on the prize. That's pretty tasty.
Oh, shit. Okay, Black Rune of Damnation. This can be given to cultists. Each time an attack is made against that bearer's unit, subtract 1 from the wound roll, and the bearer has the following ability, Black Rune of Damnation. While an enemy psychic unit is within 18 inches of the bearer, each time a psychic test is taken for that unit, it suffers perils on a roll of any double.
That might be singularly the most powerful relic in our book.
Yeah, -1 to wound, and you are causing perils on any double.
And you can give that to a squad sergeant. Now, I pitched this because everyone was saying Red Butchers, and I was like, yes, I hear you. But possessed, okay?
Okay.
Possessed are innately toughness 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Which means your gun needs to be strength 5 to wound them on 4s. Strength 5 is not that common. Most anti-infantry guns are strength 4 or strength 3, right?
Yeah.
So all those guns are actually going to be winning them on 6s with this. Your strength 5 Tau weapons is going to be winning them on 5s.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get to strength 10 before you can wound possessed on 3s with this.
With your 1 or 2 shots that gun does have, if you've got it.
I'm sorry, but like... And then you're telling me on top of all that, they make guys pearls on the doubles? And my guys have a 5+ invulnerable save, 3-up armor of contempt, with 3 wounds a pop? That's fucking amazing. Like, that's so powerful. Now, it is amazing on Red Butchers as well, and I'll tell you why. I did not come up with this idea. It was pitched in the Discord chat, but you can give them the transhuman to hit, no rerolls to hit, and -1 to wounds. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is outstanding. I know we're not talking about other legions, but imagine if these guys had Mark of Nurgle.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
This is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
This is a very, very potent tool. And, like, we're only talking about Squad Sergeant. You could put this on a Lord Discordant. You could actually, Jamie, because you can double up on relics, right? You can give this and the Black Gorget on a Lord Discordant. So he's got a 1-up save. He's got a 4+ invulnerable, Armor of Contempt, and he's -1 to wound.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I want to apologise quickly. My stomach is rumbling. I don't know if my mic's picking it up, but if you
I don't think it is. Okay. Don't worry.
If you heard any weird noises just then, I'm hungry. Yeah. I'm hungry.
So,
God damn, dude, that is
the application of that. I would say that is nearly, for me anyway, that is a 1 CP I'm going to be spending in every game.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, gee. Yeah. Okay. I can't wait to actually get this book in my hands and start this shit. Okay. Mantle of Traitors. Once per battle, if the bearer is selected for an epic deed stratagem, that strat costs 0 CP. Okay. I'd have to go and look at what the epic deeds are, but that's pretty nice. It's once per battle.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
Okay, I was just trying to think. No, unfortunately, you couldn't give this to a Lord of Skulls, but whatever. Each time the bearer makes a melee attack, you can reroll the hit roll. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Decent.
All right. At the start of your command phase, select one core unit from your army that is on the battlefield until the start of your next command phase. That unit is considered to be in range of any of the following aura abilities the bearer has: Lord of Chaos, Aspire to Glory, Demagogue. Okay, so I think that's Lord, Exalted Champion, and Apostle. So it goes well on one of those. Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, I don't hate it.
I don't know if I'm going to use it, but it's good. Blade of the Relentless, Power Sword, Demon Blade, or Accursed weapons only. Replaces it. Strength +1, -4, damage 2. Each time the bearer fights, it can make 1 additional attack. Each time an attack is made, unmodified 6, 2 mortal wounds. Okay. Baby Gorefather kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, slap it on the Red Butchers.
It's not bad. Not bad
basically, every relic that we consider, it's slap it on the Red Butchers. Yeah. Gonna be the most kitted out unit in the game.
That's the end of the relics that I've got.
I would say pretty much all of them are vastly superior to any of the World Leader specific relics.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for me, that icon, the black Psyker Death, is
that's top
That's
tier.
crazy. That's so. Yeah. Oh my god, the amount of application. You could pop it on Warp Talons or Raptors if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't because it's a bit of a throwaway because those units typically die 1 turn.
Yeah.
But like the fact that you can put it on that Terminator blob that have transhuman to hit and no rerolls, they're so safe moving up the board.
Yeah.
They're actually so. Is it -1 to hit in just shooting or is that combat too, Jamie? Can you check?
What the
relic?
Oh shit! I just closed it.
Okay, it doesn't matter so much. I think it was everything. It's okay, cool. We can move on. Yeah. Next we got Warlord.
I don't have the Warlord traits, so I'm
okay,
not
cool.
Sure.
I've looked through them. There wasn't really anything that revolutionary, I would say. My takeaway was that there's nothing there that I would actually spend a CP on.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Because looking at how good our stratagems and relics and other things are, I don't know if there was anything, because they were all reworks of previous ones that we had. Yeah. If you get me, the core
I heard them being talked about. I haven't got them written down, so I can't really remember. There wasn't anything that jumped out to me. Like
the Flames of Spite was the one that jumped out to me, where I was like, oh, you could do that, but I just think I would rather do other things.
Okay. All right, I just want to sort of like finish this off, like not finish now, but we're going to go through some of the data sheets. We're going to go through things which are new to us today, because if you're watching this, you should have seen everything that's been leaked so far. And
we did a big stream about all the previous leaks last week, so check that out if you missed it.
So looking at the Lord and the Terminator Lord here, looks like we're going up to 6 attacks base. 7 wounds on the Terminator, 6 on the regular Lord. The weapons restrictions aren't as bad as was rumoured. Looks like you can still swap out pistols, and melee weapons are pretty much whatever's on the full list.
The rumors weren't as the rumors were a little bit more extreme than what actually transpired for their loadouts.
So they get 4-up invuln, let the galaxy burn, and reroll 1s within 6 for core. Okay.
Yep, fine.
Yep,
it's pretty much what we anticipated for these guys.
Terminator Lord, probably slightly more of an option, just having the extra wound, a 2-up save, teleportation, things like that, which is pretty much how it's been for us the last years.
I think the Terminator Lord, there's builds to be worked there if you're tight on points and can't really afford a Prince or a Lord Discordant or something like that. I do think, and now actually, do you know something that's interesting? I may be incorrect, but I think you can actually still run triple Lord Discordants.
Probably.
I don't think they have the Lord of Chaos keyword. It was only Demon Prince Lord and
they do not have Lord of Chaos.
I think there was like one other thing.
Yeah.
But interestingly, you can run a Demon Prince and a Chaos Lord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Or you can run 3 Lord Discordants.
The Disco Lord, we've talked about yesterday a lot. It was leaked yesterday, but overall, the Disco Lord is...
You're saying his name incorrectly.
Senor Disco.
Okay,
sorry. Senor Disco. Overall, a bit of a side grade, down to 9 wounds, so gets the Lookout Sir and stuff. Melee maybe nerfed slightly, shooting slightly better. The rules are kind of much simpler now, but generally good. But I think with access to some of the relics and stuff, and I'm sure other
that's
legions,
where the real power is.
That's where we're getting the Senor Disco everybody wants.
He goes from the Lord Discordant to Senor Discordia.
Yes. Senor Discordia.
The real power is in the relics that you can slap on this guy and the other buffs that you can apply to him. He gets really scary really fast. So yeah, fantastic, really cool. Going to be a lot of interesting builds with that guy.
Yeah, for sure. Just great unit. And then sliding right into the Warpsmith. Looks like stat lines has stayed the same for the most part, except we're now 5 wounds and 5 attacks on a Warpsmith.
He has a lot of attacks.
Yes.
He has a
so
lot of
6
attacks.
as a World Eater.
It would be 6.
He has 3 pistols. He's got a melter pistol, a flame pistol, and a plasma pistol.
Now remember, people, you can only fire 1 per turn, but he does have 3. When you fire a pistol weapon, you can only fire a pistol weapon. You
can fire all your pistol weapons.
Can you fire all your pistols?
Yes, you can only throw 1 grenade.
Oh, okay. But if you fire a pistol, you can't fire other weapons.
Because Cypher has 2 pistols. And you could run double plasma pistol on some of our champions. Yeah, but you can only fire the pistol.
Oh, okay. So he actually... Because before you could only fire like one of his things.
Yeah. Yeah, you could fire like the melter and the flamer or his pistol if you...
Yeah. So now they're all pistols, right?
All pistols.
Amazing.
So you're shooting these into combat as well. So your melter pistol is always D6 plus 2 because it's 6 inches. And you're going to get 2 plus D6 flamer, 4 strength 4, 1 damage. And you've got the option for an overcharged plasma pistol. You're shooting on 2s. Then you've got the axe or thunder hammer. I think you go with the axe because it's 15 points.
I agree. Yeah, and you're already paying the 15 for his mark.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to make this guy crazy expensive, but I do think he has a place in a lot of lists.
Because he's going to go up with the mark of Khorne and the butcher's nails. He's going to go up to 6 attacks on the charge, hitting on 3s, but that's still solid. At strength 7, because he's 4 plus 1 plus 2 for the axe, at minus 2 damage. That's a really good profile. Like, it's very
absolutely
good, better than average. I mean, we're obviously used to characters hitting on 2s, but I think that's fine because he's going to be rocking up with your vehicles because he heals a vehicle at the end of your movement phase. So this isn't even a command phase thing. Let's say Khorne has just smashed your Rhino if you're running Khorne.
Wait, he heals at the end of the movement phase?
At the end of your movement phase, this
Holy
model can
shit,
repair
that's
one
fantastic.
friendly Legion vehicle within 3 inches. That vehicle model regains up to D3 wounds. You can only repair it once a turn, but yeah. So, and then you also get, in your command phase, this model can enrage 1 Legion vehicle within 3. If it does, add 1 to the attack roll of ranged attack. So plus 1 to hit on shooting vehicles. that you can also repair.
Yep. Yeah, we've been speaking about this in the team chat a lot. Put one next to Brass Scorpion.
And he's happy to walk up with that Brass Scorpion. He'll probably fall behind, but...
The question is here, right? You know, because you can have Demon Forge for 2 CP.
Yeah.
Or you can have this guy for 100 and... I want to say 110 points. He's 95 plus 15.
I thought he was 80 plus 15. Maybe he is 95 plus 15. He might be. Either way, yeah.
Yeah, I wrote a list last night with one in, and I was putting him in at 110. Anyway, so the question is, do you want to spend 2 CP every turn, or do you want to save those 2 CP? Do you want to use those for -1 damage, and do you instead want to spend a small amount of points to get additional healing and that +1 to hit?
Yeah.
And where this, I think that is phenomenal. I think that's really powerful. So where you want to apply a warp smith, like we were talking, like holy shit, you could put this on drills, right? And it would be really good drills on ballistic skill 2, very very strong.
Yeah.
But I think if you're making the investment of a warp smith, if you're committing to bringing one to your list, you need to bring a vehicle that is worthy of the plus to hit, which is stuff like the Brass Scorpion, the Lord of Skulls. Things that put out an awful lot of shooting. Yeah. The Land Raider comes to mind. Like, I know I joke around in the chat saying I hate Land Raiders,
it's still a solid unit, yeah.
Or the Kratos, which is the one that I'm thinking a lot about. The amount of guns on the Kratos, all of them hitting on ballistic skill 2, popping off on 6s in the first round, or in the first battle rounds with 1 and whatever. Yeah, there's something to be said for that. And he's a cheap HQ. He is cheap, which is important.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. We'll touch on the Apostle just because we now have the stats.
I haven't seen this yet, actually.
Okay, Weapon Skill 2, BS 3, as expected, Strength and Toughness 4, 5 wounds, 5 attacks, Leadership 10 with a 3-up save. The Disciples are now part of the unit. Weapon Skill, Ballistic Skill 4, Strength 3, Toughness 3, 1 wound, 1 attack, Leadership 6 with I believe a 6-up save. So, but that's
They're still getting the butcher's nails. Let's go.
The Accursed Crozius is +2, -1, 2 damage with a bolt pistol. Gets Let the Galaxy Burn, 4-up invul, while a friendly Legion Core Demonkin or Cultist unit is within 6. Use his leadership, so leadership 10 on everything within 6 that matters. Then Dark Disciples, this is probably the biggest thing. Each time this unit chants a prayer, if the unit contains any Dark Disciples, because they are ablative wounds now, add 1 to the dice roll, so you're praying on 2s. The destruction of Disciples doesn't count for morale, and if the Apostle is ever destroyed, so are the Disciples. So it's 2 ablative wounds. Great. Let me check. The Disciples do not get the character keyword. The Apostle does.
Do they get the priest keyword?
The Apostle gets the priest. The Disciples only get infantry and Dark Disciple.
So I don't think you can do that string thing that we were talking about for the auras. But, okay, that's fine.
It's fine. We know what so they can target the Disciples. Okay.
Can they?
No, you can't. But no, because you can't target the unit.
Because it's a character unit. Yeah. I don't think they can.
So it's only if you killed the Apostle first, then they would die.
But then they automatically die.
Yep, irrelevant.
Okay, so he's got what? Did you say 5 attacks or 4?
5 attacks base, so 6 as a world eater.
6 as a world eater. Strength 7 because it's +2 and +1 because he's marked.
Yep. -1 base.
If you want damage 2.
Yep.
Not bad.
It's not bad. Again, it's another. He'll lift up some intercessors in combat. And he's got that nice 6 attacks. It's great. He's just cool. Well kitted against a lot of things.
Yeah.
Exalted Champion. Okay. I know I saw some mentions in the Discord about him being written off here, but he's weapon skill and ballistic skill 2 now, so his shooting got slightly better. Strength toughness 4, 5 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 9. I was hoping for a little bit more from his attacks. He gets a bolt pistol, combi melter, and exalted power axe and grenades. Okay, so he's shooting his melter on 2s, which is that's fine. Exalted power axe is +2, -2, 2 damage. So he'll be up to, again, strength 7, -2, 2 damage as a world eater with 6 attacks. Legion core within 6, reroll a wound roll of 1. Okay, I mean, I don't think we're taking him, but...
No, I don't think so either. I don't think he has a place. But, you know, it's fine. He had his time in the sun.
He's there. There might be something in there somewhere. We'll see. I'm not going to go over the Dark Commune because they have a Psyker, and I'm just not confident that that's going to be something we can take.
They're also a ridiculously complicated unit, and we simply don't have the time to go through them.
Yeah, can't be bothered. Alright, Hellbrew, everything looks the same. It's got 5 attacks.
Same as Death Guard, Thousand Suns. All, yep, well, exactly
damage.
What we're expecting.
Alright, and then what else we got? Noise Marines don't care. Venom Crawler, we knew about, right?
Yeah, we did the Venom Crawler already.
Bikers and... Spawn. Let's see here. Movement 7, weapon skill 4. Strength 5, toughness 5, 4 wounds. Looks like 2d3 attacks. Leadership 8 and a 5-up save. -2, 2 damage, strength user. So strength 5, -2, 2 damage at 2d3 plus 1 attacks. Let the galaxy burn. So they get death to the false emperor, or however you want to call it. Fearsome aura, so -1 leadership. 6 inch. Mutate beyond reason. This unit cannot perform actions. That's fair. The first time it's selected to fight, roll a d3 and it gains either -4 AP, attacks characteristics of 3d3, and I think here, because it's models in the unit to 3d3, if you have 3 spawn, each one gets 3d3, so you roll 3 sets of 3d3 or 2d3.
Exactly, yeah. That's how it was played before anyway.
Okay. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, you can re-roll the wound roll. Okay, so it's more or less the same as what it was, just I think the Death Guard version.
Except one other additional rule put in there.
Yeah, there's an extra sentence here, mate. I wonder what this says.
Tell me, Jamie, tell me of the spell.
Hideous regeneration. So I don't know what
it's what means. I do every morning when I wake up.
Each time an enemy unit shoots or fights, after it has finished making its attacks, if any model in this unit lost any wounds as a result of those attacks, but was not destroyed, the model immediately regains all its lost wounds. On a T5, 4 wound model with a 5-up save.
Essentially 5 per unit.
At 25 points a model.
I'm sorry, but that's a fucking steal.
Yes.
Let's go. It's such a troll. It's a unit that is made to troll people. It's just like, you start shooting me? I don't care. And the thing is, I think we heard like a rumor about this ability, right? Yeah. And I was like, damn, I bet you that's going to be in the command phase, so it's probably not as good as we think. No, it's actually better. It's the end of the phase where they were...
shot.
Is it after each shot?
Oh, sorry,
or
it's after
I think
the
it's the end of
shooting
phase.
or fight. So the unit does all its shooting. Oh, you took 3 wounds off one of my spawn. Sorry, it's back to full health.
It's so funny that you can't be like, oh, I'll shoot some vultures at them to soften them up. They're like, no, we enjoyed those vultures. Give us something else.
Healthy, yeah.
What an amazing unit! Like, what an absolute tar pitter! Like, genuine tar pit unit, exactly as they should be.
That is a unit we are gonna love. I think it's fast attack, which is an issue for us, but.
Yeah, I don't think it's so bad because I genuinely think that like the way the points are, it'll be rare that we actually fill the 3 fast attacks.
Well,
but I can see myself. I can see myself finding.
For 125 points. That's an awful body. Like, it's an amazing bodyguard. Look out, Sir Protection. At 7-inch move, you want to run a disco, the souped up disco, and throw 5 of those around him with a 7-inch plus advance, because they're not shooting anything, and you don't care if they charge. They are literally there to just absorb bullets. Absorb. And
they're incredible.
Them out. That is awesome. Okay.
Did they get the Butcher's Nails?
Yeah, they're traitorous Astartes with the Legion keyword, and heretic Astartes. They're beasts, so they're breaching. Yeah. So they can get 2d3 up to 3d3 plus 1 attack. So they're minimum 3 attacks at strength 5, AP 2 damage. At 5 of them in there. Dude, I think these are probably an auto take.
They're certainly
very
I feel like
they're
up there with like the other really good choices in our army.
Yeah.
It's such a shame that they don't have like a spawn champion that you can put relics on.
To give them a 4-up info. And -1 to wound.
And +1 to their save. They might actually. Do they have a save? Are they 7s?
They 5 up save, so they have 5
Oh my
up,
god!
and at the
Putting them
moment,
on a
armor of contempt as well.
Oh, that's so stupid.
And infantry, beast, and swarm get cover as well.
Yeah.
So you get
of
4
course.
up armor of contempt on a T5 that just okay.
They're like the perfect unit to put in the middle of the board and just be like,
well, they were
deal
always,
with us.
They were always your 1 model stranglehold tech, right? You took 1 or 2 if you could to just get strangled turn 1 and turn 2.
Yeah.
Now you tech 5 in a unit and you don't get stranglehold, but you just go sit them on the objective for the game because you want to dedicate your entire round of shooting to kill 125 points because it will probably take that from a lot of armies.
It's going to take you're going to have to fire hammerheads into them.
Yeah. The only good thing is, I mean, balance-wise, is it looks like because they don't have core...
and they can't do actions either, so...
And you can't be putting many buffs on them. So they're good for the lookout, sir. I think that, and just holding
Are they... sorry, are they Demonkin?
No.
Okay, so the Master Possession can't resurrect them.
Yeah. Alright, let's move on. We know about the Land Raider and the Vindicator. A little bit here on the Predator, going to toughness 8.
Predator tough 8 is not nothing.
It's not nothing, and what I'm looking at is the, which variant is it? It's the Annihilator.
Soul Shatter
It's Soul Shatters. And I want to say it's 140 points if you don't
It's
have
about
sponsons.
that, yeah.
It's 10 points more than the autocannon version, which is what I would run in 8th edition. 140 points.
I don't mind it, dude.
No, I don't think it's an auto take, but I think there may be some lists where it's.
But
nice.
you strap 4 las cannons on it, and you have your Wordsmith standing next to it.
I don't think you put any sponsons on there. I think you go for. This is a cheap.
You just
way
go for
to
the
get
roll.
For the Soul Shatters.
Yeah. Okay.
140 points for just 2 shots, but again, it's a T8, 11 wound, 3 up save. That's sitting in your backfield.
If you think of it as a raider for the Drakari with more survivability but less maneuverability and 1 less gun, it's kind of the same thing, but a slightly better gun. So if you park 2 of them in your backfield and they're just kind of going like, ooh, bang, bang, every turn, eventually they're going to do something, right? And they're always there. I don't hate it, really, to be honest.
I think the Vindicator is better.
I agree
overall,
with you 100%.
But
yeah, I do.
I think, there might be something that we're not seeing yet. There might be other things
I would just say that
option.
It's not a bad option.
No.
If you want to take out your predators, they're not bad now.
I've got 3 of the fuckers I haven't used in years. So.
Yeah, I got Daimos predators lying on my shelf, and I'm like, you know what? I'd probably bring those out for World of Tanks someday, have some fun.
Yeah. And then sadly, the Predator autocannon is exactly the same. I was hoping.
I'm so disappointed. Yeah, I was really hoping it got. All it needed was -2.
Yeah, -2, and it would have been super good. Okay. Anyway, we're getting close here. Noctilith Crown. Okay.
I have not looked at this. Bring me through the big circle, Jimmy. Take me into the Stargate.
Incredibly complicated. It degrades. It's got a ballistic skill of 4, strength 876, toughness 8, 14, and then I'm assuming 7 and 3. Leadership 8, 3 up save. Lash and warp energies, 6-inch assault. I can't read it. Strength user AP 2 damage to. Okay, let the galaxy burn. It explodes. I can see that much. Malevolent Locus Aura, so Aura keyword. While a friendly, traitorous to start his unit is wholly within range of this ability, every model in that unit has a 4-up invuln against ranged attacks. While an enemy unit is within range of this ability, subtract 1 from the leadership of non-chaos models in that unit. The range, rounds 1 through 5, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 inches, so an expanding range. Okay, then it explodes. Then we get Loathsome Insights, I think. While there are friendly Noctilith Crown models on the battlefield, Traitorous Astartes Priest and Psyche units from your army can attempt the following action. Here we go. At the start of your movement phase, Priest or Psyche from your army that is wholly within 9 inches of the crown can start to perform an action. So start of the movement, end of your movement phase. The action is completed at the end of your turn. So movement phase, so you're not shooting or charging, but it happens at the end. If completed, you gain 1 command point.
But if you're a priest, you can still prayer.
Yeah, because that's command phase.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
But
I'm listening.
your psychers can't psychic. Fuck them.
Khorne wins again.
Yes. So you gain a command point, and you must roll 2d6. If the result is less than or equal to the leadership characteristic of the unit that completed this action, you can select one prayer, if that unit is a priest, from the Prayer of the Dark Gods or a psychic. Until the end of the battle, that prayer replaces a prayer that you know. So you can swap a prayer. So it's a way to tailor your army. I don't know that it's super good, but I think having a 4-up.
I don't think it's good for us, but it might be good for like Iron Warriors that tend to kind of stay in the back.
Yeah, if you're sitting back, a 4-up invul against shooting isn't bad. It's the Holy Within, but a 4-up invul on Terminators. I mean, I don't know if it's necessary, quite frankly, but whatever. Okay, getting a CP is a big deal.
Fact, yeah.
Yeah, that is a big deal. And being able to swap out a prayer is also big. Like, the fact that you can pray, then do this action. You wouldn't be able to do one of your aura prayers, though, because it'll turn it off.
Yeah.
You'll break the action by using the aura. It's useful. This is now something we consider. It's gone from being like a very niche use and basically always argued out to, I think it's 100 points.
Yeah, it was something like that. I can see this being really good for Iron Warriors, especially if they take lots of Havocs and tanks, because it is a big model. Yep, cool. I don't think it's necessarily for our Legion, but I think and it's just so cool. Like this in a Word Bearer's army as the central element. Wow, sick. You know, I'm there for it.
I think it's definitely got play. All right, so look, we've almost been recording for an hour and a half, probably about an hour and 20 minutes once I edit out some stuff. Let's close off here on some thoughts. What is your? I know there's a couple units you want to talk about. Tell us what you want to talk about. What's a unit that you think is currently, or a couple units that's looking really good, given all the extra knowledge we now have?
Yeah, right. So the Brass Scorpion, as I said, really stands out for basically all the reasons. You know, the Smith, the stratagems. There's a lot of there's a lot of potential there, you know. And the thing for me is that as much as I really want to make it work, I think my list and my list ideas are so strapped for points that I would essentially be sacrificing something really valuable to bring the Scorpion over something else, which is a little bit of a shame. Yeah. But, you know, what I'm seeing is that if I wanted to build a list around the Scorpion, I could build a list around one. And it could be really strong. So I think the Scorpion definitely has play. With a points drop, with new stratagems, with exploding 6s to hit, 3d6 charging, as we always know, ignoring all charge modifiers. If you want to build a list around one, I think there's power there. So that's an interesting unit to me. The discount version... Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was going to say, for me, the discount version is the Kratos tank. Okay. Which is not the Scorpion and not as cool as a Scorpion, but I know people are struggling to see it right now, but I think in a little bit of time, when people kind of come down from the hype of trying to cram as many combat units into their army as they can, and they realize that we still need to have some form of balance, we still need to bring a shooting element to the army, I can see people starting to warm up to the Kratos, because it has an awful lot of guns. A lot of the guns are very strong. And if you have a Smith next to it for +1 to hit, I think it can do an awful lot of work, and it will be a really good distraction element to take the heat off units that are potentially pushing forward, like drills. That's what it is for me. It's a really good thing to take the heat off the drills, and crucially, having a 2-up save with Armor of Contempt and the smokescreen keyword at Toughness 8, that is a fantastically survivable stat line. And even though the Scorpion has a lot more wounds and has the ability to get -1 damage, that's still costing you 2 CP every turn. Yeah. And I still think the Kratos can pull it out. Like, I would rather be denying hit rolls to the enemy than reducing their damage.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's really interesting, and that's the trade-off that I'm having right now. And right now I'm sticking with the Kratos.
Okay.
I think.
I think like we've talked about it quite a bit, and I've been looking at. I almost bought one last night. I didn't, or the night before, I can't remember. But yeah, for me, I need more time to process. Like I really need to sit and read through this stuff and and hear everyone else's thoughts and opinions. A few times during this video, though, there's been times I wanted to say that works on bikers. And I know that's kind of a meme, and I know, like, because...
Man, I totally respect your bikers. Yeah. I really do respect them.
Just some of those stratagems do, defensive-wise. The combos... T5, 3 wounds, power armor, looks like an absolute monster. And bikers obviously get core, so they're eligible for a lot more buffs. And they have speed, and they can... I don't think they can do the remain stationary thing, unfortunately. But,
no, I think that was infantry only.
Yeah, but I need to go through and really like get me a nice little spreadsheet or flowchart of what applies to what, because that's where we're going to start seeing. Okay, you know, I've got my Terminator blob on this flank, which can only be hits on 4+, and is just something that is going to threaten their army. But I could then use bikers on this flank because I can make a -1 to hit, which is typically going to be hit on 4s anyway.
And you can make them -1 to wounds with that relic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
fantastic.
Can just, because what was it? 9 of them at 3 wounds each is 27 toughness 5 wounds. At 270 points, 295 with the mark. You throw a relic on there, they become incredibly hard to shift. And if you are going against an or a land-based army, like 9 biker bases strings out with 20 inches of movement, even navigating terrain. That is shutting down so much. And you're shooting them, and it's a pain in the ass. And if you fight them, I don't know that there's many things outside of another World Eaters type army that is rinsing an entire unit of 27 wounds, T5, with -1 to wound, -1 to hit.
There's very few. I totally respect it. I know people say they don't have breachable. I get that.
Yeah.
But not everything in the game is going to be hiding in a building. Yeah. You know? And if they are, that's fine. It means you're controlling the board. Yeah. You know?
And you know what? 20 inches move, I'll fucking drive up and over the wall. I don't care. You know?
Right, exactly. Yeah. I totally see it.
Yeah.
I would be putting 9 in my list if I didn't despise the models.
I understand.
And that's simply it, you know? Yeah. Their stat line is to die for. It's fantastic.
I think it's good. But the same way like the possessed, you keep arguing for the possessed, and I see it. For me, I have
it's
9
the same
bikers,
thing. It's the
and
same thing.
I don't want to paint 10 possessed. I probably will, but I don't want to. You love that shit and are already getting yourself prepared for it. So for me, it's like a hobby meta element that is just guiding me. I'm gonna draw what I can out of the bikes if I decide to run them.
Yeah. And it's like the reverse for me. I want to hobby on this cool new stuff and avoid the bikes, right?
Yeah.
But we like both of those units for the exact same reasons. Yeah. And it's so awesome that they're 2 quite different units. You know?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that we both have this like brick. Because you bet your ass I'm going to be putting that the black mark anti-psyker thing on those possessed, man. Because I tell you right now, they're going to be hard to shift once they get into mid-rune, into cover.
Yeah. Like that thing, I'm thinking it's got to go on something that is going to go up the table early and survive a round or 2, because you want to be, hurting their cycles. It probably works better on the possessed because of apoplectic frenzy. Oh wait a minute! No, you do frenzy in your turn now, don't you? No, you do it at the start of the battle round.
Yeah, in my head, it's going to be the Raptors that are frenzying. I don't think the possessed need to.
Well, okay, so let's say you're running against a psychic heavy army. You may want to get that relic where it's center-ish table, so that aura of perils on any double, that makes your opponent then shit. I need to stay back because now I've got whatever.
Yeah, that's really down to your psyops as well, because while it's nice that you can pearl on a double, but it's not amazing. The power is the -1 to it. Now I can see it being exceptionally powerful on that Terminator bomb that we were speaking of. Like, you stack your durability boss on those red butchers, and it
I don't know what kills them, honestly.
I don't either.
Because you've still got 1,600 points of an army well, you know, if you include the Demon Prince there, you've got 1,200 points of an army elsewhere, but you have to kill the butchers. You have to kill. You need mortal wounds to kill the butchers. Like, that's what kills them.
This is really why I don't think that we care that we can't charge from Deep Strike that well anymore, because we just don't need to with those kind of durability buffs on the Terminators.
Yeah.
We can very safely and confidently walk up the board.
Yeah. Dude, all right, look, I need to end this here because I need to get some breakfast at this point. Gee, man.
Yeah, I'm literally about to go to the pub.
Yeah. All right, well, look, Dara, thanks for coming on here and chatting with us.
It's been real. Yeah. I like, for real though, like, this has been a surface level thing.
Yeah.
Like, we are going to drill down. We're going to do list analysis. We're going to have more war room chats with other members of the team. So this was very much like, hey, everyone else was making videos about Chaos today, so we said we would too, right? That's all it is. We're jumping on the bandwagon.
Last week we had a phone call for like an hour and a half, and then we were saying, like, at the end, like, shit, we should have recorded that. So
yeah, so now we do.
We were going to have a chat. I was like, dude, we got to record it because, you know, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what your kind of initial thoughts are on power builds or good combos and things like that, because we're at the dawn of a new era. Even though, like, the World Eater's White Dwarf has kind of been a little bit tepid overall, I think this book suddenly catapults Chaos Space Marines overall into a phenomenal position as very strong. I don't think we're broken. I am so happy that I do not think we're broken. Someone's going to do something stupid, I know it, but I don't care about them. I think everyone in our Discord, Dara, myself, everyone, we're going to come up with these lists, and everyone's going to look at every list and go, Jesus, dude, that is fucking amazing. Like, regardless, like, you're running, you know, what, 15 spawn? Love it. Like, yes, I see exactly what you're going for here, because no one's killing your Disco Lord, or whatever it is, right? But yeah, okay, so that's it. Until next time, everyone, stay healthy, stay safe, and kill main burn.